to the Mordex, yeah.
Yeah. But man, this is crazy. The two players punching so far above their weight, having to clash here in losers round 1.
Oh, big facts on that. I'm glad you brought that up. This is, by the way, top 8. Remember, top 8 when I say these two numbers. Anime, PR number 25 versus Fakey, PR number 34. So both of them are going to get a nice boost to those numbers from the results of this event.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by far. And Fakey with an absolutely dominant first stock, 20 seconds in, knocking out Anime.
That's exactly what Fakey needed earlier today, too. I can't remember who it was that Fakey was fighting. That was... I need to take a look back here in a second. But once Fakey got off the bow and switched over to the scythe, after a pretty poor game 1, it was against Radish. Started bringing it back heavy against Radish and looked phenomenal. Radish, of course, figured it out. But Anime Fan, very similar to what we said earlier, his aggressive plays have been nuts. I think this is the makings of what could be like an 8-minute set in total between these two.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be absolutely crazy. I love the dodge reads that Anime has just because it's like the neutral light, you're usually expecting the recovery. You were talking about him sliding that neutral signature. We've already seen that several times. And then even just an anti-air down light, he gets those confirms. He wants to bait out the dodge so the next down light confirms into the recovery.
Yeah, you see right there. And also, he's constantly pressuring at the ledge with that option as well, where you think you're going to be fine. Especially on Demon Island, you have to hover low. And then all of a sudden, he just goes out there, covers your jump. Not even just with the neutral shake, but recovery too. But this is incredibly close at the moment. Does he get the recovery read? Yes, he does. Goes straight for it, and that's going to give him the lead.
Yeah, he is trucking right now. This game is moving so incredibly fast. Stock is falling like every 30 seconds.
I said, yeah, no, the market is crashing with these two at the moment, but Anime stocks are rising as he's currently in the lead, but that might be a borrow time thing. The theme of this weekend is DSIG, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that come out pretty soon from Fakey as well. I actually thought it might be there as a whiff punish option, but neutral sig as well is something you used earlier a lot on Scythe as a big anti-air tool. That's a really good check to seeing those Katars constantly jump in.
Ooh, manages to hook him with the long range of the downlight. But Fakey tossing away his scythe. Is he going to go for that other weapon? Yes. The bow just in time to score a neutral 8 anti-air.
See if he can finish his food at the moment. Currently, Anime is just not letting him have it. That's going to close it out, though. Good string right into the D-Light neutral layer. Excuse me, neutral light.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, closing it out there. And this is an incredibly close first game. Like you said, I know this one is probably going to be a very fast-paced one, but it's still incredibly even.
Yeah, I mean, they've brought it down. Final stocks. The way that Anime has been playing, how many signatures he can land, the dodge reads that he's been getting on his Katars, any amount of damage isn't really that far off, especially when Fakey lands those 3-piece bowstrings. He can rocket his damage in return.
Yeah, big time. Fakey was starting to pick it up a lot there with the bow, but one of the things that started off this game was Fakey essentially speedrunning a first stock, and that was with the Scythe. So the Scythe is in play. That's a lot of options covered. Just misses the recovery, though, to get some more damage.
Oh, catches the landing with that side signature. Very good for high priority because, you know, he actually tosses the Katar out there. He doesn't have to move forward. He's not really putting himself in risk. He's just like, I'm a poke. I got some projectiles for
dangerous
that.
fear of dealing with him. Like, you just think that you're safe at these ranges, and then right here, already committed, dodge was burned, knew as soon as you saw the dodge burn, oh, free punish, get on out of here, and I'm going to take game 1.
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy. So now we have a shift up on the map. You were talking about the short walls of Demon Island playing into their matchup. How is Small Fortress of Lions going to play?
So, interestingly enough, this is actually the exact stage that Fakey counterpicked to game 2 against Radish. So this seems to be a definite favorite. That said, though, Anime Fan also ended up here a couple times against Sandstorm, so it's going to be pretty common. But I think the thing is that he wants those wall volleys with Scythe. I think he loves having that extra space with Scythe on the sides, and that's a big part of why I think Fakey decided to come here.
Yeah, that is a lot of Scythe players' favorite thing. You know, Fakey, he was trying to land so many of those in past sets. Just from what I was watching today, where he had to go for multiple down airs. People were able to dodge out before the ground pound, before the second down air. So, yeah, he definitely wants more of those clips.
Yeah, and also just having access to that soft platform to try and get away from the Katars at any point. That being said, if you make a mistake and you decide to hover and jump towards it at the wrong time, you're taking a neutral sig from Katars. So far, it's been the gauntlet play. There's that wall volley right there. Is he going to close it out? No, just missed the side cancel. Doesn't matter. It goes out there and gets him anyways. That was close to disaster for Fakey, but he was able to come out on top.
Well, you know, if I'm going to trust anybody off stage, it's going to be the bird.
True. And that's where that sentence ends.
That's it. I mean, what else you can say? Yes, we see.
The bird is the word, chat. Just so you know, the bird. Confirmed. The bird is the word. The bird just got set flying, Chief. He's out of there.
It was season to migrate, you know, and then come back around, fresh stock.
Can we go get that bird and deep fry? I'm very hungry.
You what?
Anyways,
all right, that's what Anime's looking for. He wants to deep fry this bird right now.
So we got game number 2 here, of course, with Anime. Like we said, playing so well up to this point, and the thing is, I don't see Anime going for those same mix-ups yet. He's kind of just been straight up going for neutral sig, like right there.
Yep.
But he hasn't gone for that slide cancel play that I was so impressed by earlier. I get the feeling.
All right, ask and ye shall receive.
Thank you so much for proving my point as he goes ahead and closes it out on the left side with the gauntlets instead. But if you could just feel that it was coming and he was conditioning it, he finally let it go.
Man, neutral light into recovery, just getting all that extra credit damage and just continuing to juggle Fakey. It's like every time that Fakey's trying to get in, there's a neutral layer waiting for him. Wait a minute.
Oh, no.
Lots of damage, lots of stage control coming out. That Scythe recovery sending Anime wide.
Yeah, so we were mentioning before, the Scythe plays from Fakey have really just been that clutch factor. Like, you're about to get Scythe. It's going to happen. You can't get away from it. But the bow's picked up a ton, too. Going to get the Sair pushing back on stage, but we're approaching that D-Light recovery range. Actually, we're pretty much at it now. Doesn't even need it, though. Just gets the straight-up read and gets the recovery to even up the game.
All right, once again, we find ourselves final stock.
This is I am so impressed by watching these two. Like, at first I was saying this is going to be a super fast-paced match, and it still is pretty fast-paced overall, but the fact that they're boxing back and forth like that, one of them received a hands, though, and he wasn't happy about it. It is now Anime going up 2-0 in the lead to try and get that matchup. Oh, I was actually wrong on the side that what I talked about before. It would actually be this match going into Luna. The other half of it is the rematch of Sandstorm and Impala. Oh, we get that too.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. 2 times in one day I get to talk about Sandstorm and Impala. That's fire. I love production. And I love these games. And right now we have Anime up 2-0 in the lead. What is your view? Because to be honest, they've been so close that Fakey's just barely missing some of these games. What do you think Fakey needs to do in this next game to try and avoid getting knocked out?
I think it's usually towards the tail end of the games. Fakey ends up playing a lot more aerial of a game plan, and that's where Anime really excels. He's catching landings, he's catching, you know, anytime that you're looking to jump, he's got great anti-air recognition for his neutral lights, his down lights on Qatar, and that signature, that neutral signature does so much damage.
Yeah, well, that's
Don't forget, Diamond Head is a high-strength legend.
Yes, and again, also speaking of that, we are here on Brawlhalla. We decided to box.
Oh my gosh!
And I agree with you so heavy because at the very beginning of the set, I talked about and complimented how Fakey was so on point with those Scythe neutral sigs as an anti-air option. I don't think I've seen it once in the set so far, and it might need to be the option that comes out maybe. Like, any bag of tricks you got, pull it out now.
Yep. So Fakey has the damage lead here, but man, I'm so nervous. Anytime people take a high-strength legend and try to fight against it on small Brawlhaven, I'm like, man, that usually doesn't work out the way you want. But Fakey, that down signature, starting to use that character-specific kit. Is this going to be the turnaround? Anything
you could do to cover both sides of the aisle. When you see Diamond Head approaching you, you know most likely he's going to cross you up at some point, and having something like that, or the stop the aggressive play, will work well. This is not the biggest lead, but at least Fakey looking pretty good. The recovery, not enough just yet. You probably don't get another chance at that, though.
Ooh. Managing to catch Anime's landings now, snipes him off. There's the sweat drops. Oh, wow. Anime saved his dodge for the very end to be able to get up and over.
Yeah, that was good on Fakey, too, to not just kind of rush right in at that weapon because Anime just covering him with the side stick. And speaking of, going to go ahead and get it right there. Did take a lot of damage, but again, it's small Brawlhaven.
Yeah, it can
don't need that much.
It just needs, like, you know, just a couple dodge reads and you're out of here.
And speaking of trying to get him out of here, he finally made an attempt at it. Whiffed it, but finally made an attempt at it. And that, at least at most, gives a bit of a gut check to Anime fan to be careful about how he approaches. That recovery catches him, have to use a couple resources, gets to the wall, but because he had to go down, he already burned the jumps above him. That recovery read was perfect to line that up.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. And now he's got just about a full stock to work with.
Can he keep that is the big question. Anime fan has been an absolute menace to him so far to try and keep any leads. Anime fan getting with sidelights, neutralites into the attempt on the neutral sig just to build that damage up. But he is looking much more confident as he approaches. Recovery actually will just do it. And we have, it is essentially an even game.
I know, we're right back in it. So did Fakey build himself enough runway for the takeoff, or is he going to crash and burn?
He's going to need to make sure that he gets in the air and starts flying away with this victory pretty soon, because at the moment it is not the most comfortable position. Gets in with the sidelight, trying to build some more. Neutralite into attempted Sair, doesn't find its mark, but they are just kind of trading off back and forth at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, Fakey had enough of a damage lead that this is working out in his favor. He's ready to score the knockout. Anime still needs a couple more taps to be in that range.
Ooh,
wow.
He's trying to go for the biggest tap, the biggest bonk on the head he could find. And here he goes again, going off stage, but he gets reversed. Here comes Fakey trying to go out there, get the snatch. No, he does not.
Anime saving his dodge as the last recovery option. So smart.
Oh my god, it almost gets a call on the recovery as well. We've got a very close game right now. Anime looking to potentially get a 3-0. Fakey trying to keep it. It's still alive.
It's anybody's game right now.
One recovery from Gauntlets possibly seals it, but he got caught.
Again, makes his way up and over. Fakey trying to catch the landing. Uh-oh, hard side light, gonna knock him off, but not out. The recovery, not yet enough. That hit too deep.
A little bit too low onto the stage. Unarmed currently is Fakey. Gonna get in and get access to the bow. Going all the way off stage, trying to get the reversal Sair, but that gives him a bad spot. Going under there with the recovery. That's not gonna be enough just yet. It's incredibly scary right now.
They've spent so much time on these final stocks. Neither of them ever find that. There it is, Fakey surviving. Still 2-1 Anime's favor in the set, but Fakey, what a clutch finish to that game 3.
If you would have told me that the way that ends was Fakey going all the way to the bottom of the stage to get an unarmed recovery knockout with how chaotic that last stock was, I would have absolutely not been a betting man on that case.
No.
Instead, he bet it all on that play, decided to go underneath. Here we go. Weapon toss away, forces him to go low. There's the recovery. Has to jump up, and he stays right next to the wall. Had barely anywhere he could go. Fakey knew the distance would be close enough, and it got the job done. And we are not done yet. We still have another, at least at minimum, one more game.
That's right. Fakey, can he continue that momentum and turn this around into a reverse 3-0?
Possible.
Or is Anime just going to say, we're going on hiatus?
Look at those weapon numbers, too. A lot of people so far today. We've seen a lot of, like, one weapon legend type play from people throughout each individual match. There's only a few who've been able to kind of cycle between both. I think I'd probably put that towards, like, Luna and Sandstorm, the most who've been able to cycle between both.
Fakey definitely one who had similar damage numbers between both weapons, whereas Anime heavily favoring those Katars.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of been the theme for him all day, too. And age-old saying, I know we said it a bunch yesterday, and it keeps being said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it's working for you, keep it going until somebody proves that it won't. Anime has been making that work tremendously. But Fakey was able to at least finally clutch a play out. I'm curious to see what they're going to ban out to. I think
Small Brawlhaven was banned instantly.
That was gone immediately. It's like, no. That was too close. I'm not letting you have that. I believe I saw Demon Island. If I remember correctly, is what they committed to.
We're going to find out. Those short walls coming back into play. It's return to Demon Island.
All right, small walls, like you said, which does slightly benefit Anime Fan in terms of being able to get those, basically just constantly throw out D6 at the ledge to make you fear the idea of jumping over and then cover you. But that also opens up some really potential big plays for Scythe to pop off.
That's the thing. We've kind of gone from like one style of volatile map to the other.
Yeah.
You know, small Brawlhaven, it's like, okay, it's so small for the knockout zones, it's going to be volatile because people get knocked out early. Here, the walls are so short, and we have 4 of the best weapons at the game in edge guard potential. It's bow and scythe versus gauntlets and Katars. Nobody wants to try and make their way through an edge guard against such short walls.
Here starts the beginning of one as Fakey finishes it. All he needed was one good call, and that got the job done. Very similar, actually very reminiscent to that first stock that he got to start off the set.
Yeah, oh yeah. So back at it, has to be feeling pretty good, especially having the momentum going into this game.
Immediately tied up. Back. These two are as even skilled as you can ask for right now, even with the fact that, sure, nobody had them in the predictions to make it this far in terms of what they've done, but Winters just brings out the best in everyone, and I am just loving watching how even this is. Honestly, a little bit bias-wise, I kind of want a Game 5. This has been so close.
Oh, me too. I mean, this is absolutely phenomenal. You can really tell who's been in the grind on the offseason. These two were definitely hungry following the World Championship. I mean, they've taken out incredibly high-skilled players to get here today.
Ooh, and that was a huge whiff punish right there on the dare. As soon as he saw that, he decided to commit to the dare.
Let's
Said,
go.
oh, that is a free whiff punish. Let me drag you right down. As long as I send you far enough away, there's a high likelihood you're not making this back. And Fakey, holding a lead, granted, hasn't really been able to keep it very long after they get it.
Yeah, so last game, he managed to build himself quite a bit of a runway, almost a full stock, and that went down to last stock red in one of the craziest knockdown dragout matches ever. And here, is that going to be enough? I don't know. He's got less of extra credit on anime now, and he's about to get knocked out by that down signature from Diamond Head.
What a punish on that cross-up. He knew he would jump over and whiff and just get that, and that's 2 times in a row where Anime Fan minimized the damage going into this last stock. And speaking of that, again, we are on last stock situation. Anime Fan getting the Sair, moving right in, trying to go for sidelight. Doesn't really get anything started out of that, but here we are essentially even the game again already.
Here we go, looking for the landing. Wow, a clash on the down light and the side light.
I've seen quite a few of those, actually. I've seen stuff recoveries and clashes in center stage multiple times because they're both pulling the trigger at the same time! And what an amazing call right there from Fakey! That is the first time we've seen that play
Insane.
at all from Fakey. And we said it before, if you're going to pull out the last bag of tricks, you need to pull it out when you're facing elimination. Do not save it at all. And that sends us to game number 5.
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy. Just reads for the high recovery, sends him up there, and then the gravity cancel, neutral signature. As high as possible without spending extra jumps.
That was literally like max distance on it too. Just catching him as he went over the top of it. Perfectly spaced by Fakey. You couldn't have asked for better. And like you said before, there's no shot we were going to see Small Brawlhalla for the rest of this set after that last one. We have run it back, and the final destination for these two is going to be Demon Island.
All right, Demon Island it is for that game 5 that you wanted.
I needed it at this point. It's been such a good set up to this point. And it's from Fakey. We mentioned before, you can't count Fakey out just yet, regardless of the fact that Anime was playing so good.
He's on a 2-game run right now. You definitely can't count him out.
We're looking at what will be maybe a reverse 3-0, and the winner of this has the absolute honor of fighting Luna in the just the Elims quarters, just to make it into top 4.
Man, oh man. Winter Championship, everybody.
It happens every single year. Right now, weapon advantage slightly in favor. I'm glad that I didn't finish that sentence.
Oh, all right.
I was going to say it was in favor of Fakey, because Fakey's been really good at kind of closing out the Qatars in the last few games, but the Qatars instead find that recovery to get the first one. Yeah,
so the games that Anime won were really off the backs of any of those great confirms. You know, the neutral light into, hey, which way are you going to dodge? And then I get either another neutral light, a down light, just so that way I can convert into the recovery guaranteed.
There's that recovery that's going to go ahead and find the mark, and now we're at 2 stocks apiece. I think everybody in chat and me and you could just accept the fact that this is probably going last stock, last hit. Again, just
I would be surprised if it didn't at this point.
I would be mind blown if that didn't happen. But Fakey making an attempt at maybe trying to do that, had to back off though. Didn't really have too much he could get after that side light.
Yeah, smart. We've seen a lot of things go the way of disaster. If you get a little bit too greedy one time.
I think back to Anime Fan in that last game where he decided to go for that dare where, granted, if it hit, it looked like a genius, but he ended up losing his stock for it.
Yeah, I mean, you really don't have that to spend at this point in the game.
And good evasiveness, just hovering right underneath that ledge. Not going to get caught by any of the spacing at the moment from Anime Fan, but Anime Fan, I feel like, is just trying to condition him to think that he's okay with that, and he's going to just punish him heavy with a jump over. Neutral stick doesn't even need it, though. Instead, the jump over punish was, in fact, the recovery, and Anime moving himself up in the lead, probably borrow time, but he's holding a lead.
Yeah, because we've seen Fakey take some incredibly early stocks in the last game and a half.
Yeah, and on the heels of the bow as well, too. Finding the mark, D-Light into neutral.
You know he wants it.
Yeah, facts.
That neutral signature was weighing heavy in everybody's mind.
Well, I like the attempt at it, too. Again, another play he hasn't really gone for. Offside is the stage, but Anime is getting some more damage in. Not too much, though, actually. It looked like Anime kind of second-guessing, trying to continue anything over on the side.
Fakey trying to find some stable ground to get a game plan started, but Anime just keeps hitting him off with these neutral airs.
He's getting a lot of mileage out of this stock at the moment and trying to go for slide cancel neutral shake, gets back on the recovery, and look at that damage now applied on Fakey. This is starting to creep a little bit out of, I won't say doable distance, but it's going to be a very difficult last stock.
Yeah, I mean, we are nearing that point where any little hit is just going to take Fakey out of here, especially on the edge. So he needs to play an absolutely flawless stock going forward.
Exactly, and he committed very well on that, did not back off, made sure that the pressure or the fear of a ground pound was there so he couldn't get up to the ledge, and immediately closed out as he gets over to the gauntlets, and Anime prevents what was almost an immaculate 3-0, shuts it down, and moves himself in to the Elim quarters, guaranteed 5th place, and possibly even more upsets along the way as he has to go up against Luna next.
Yeah, so that down signature, Anime was using a lot in that second stock there. I was wondering what the payoff of that conditioning was going to be, and here with the dash forward side signature, it's like, I'm on the gauntlets. I've been wanting to keep distance this whole time. Down sig, down sig. And then right when he needed it the most, that's when you unleash the side sig.
And something to make note of, too, speaking of the signatures, I mean, even though there was 12 that were sent out, only 17% hit amongst that from Diamond Head. Doesn't matter because it's a spacing tool. It makes people get scared, exactly, especially on the ledge.